arriving with my wife Alex in the beautiful coastline of Australia. But the tension is heavy. She's no longer talking to me for a good reason. "Can't you read a freaking map?" is what I just said to her a few minutes ago. This is not the first time that we're experiencing this tension. Our marriage is on the rocks, and this is why we took time out to save our relationship. Realizing that I may lose the person that I love the most brings up a huge sadness in me. Alex has been patient with my anger outbursts and mood swings, but now she's giving me warnings. "If you don't change your behavior, I'm out of here, despite the love I have for you." To know me is to know that I'm a gentleman until I'm not. I'm 13 years of age, sitting in the living room with my mother while she's doing my homework for my art class. I want to excel at school to make my parents proud. I keep asking her to change things to make the work better. With an annoyed face, she looks at me and says, "This is enough," and puts the pen down. She's always done my artwork, and now she abandons me? Am I going to fail my class? I feel the anger rising in my 13-year-old adolescent body. I storm out of the room, walk down to the corridor, and punch the glass door of one of our rooms. As I'm looking at my bleeding hand, I can see my parents walking towards me. My mother finishes my artwork. I get what I wanted. I learned the power and manipulation of anger. Mood swings and anger outbursts become a habit pattern in my life. In my 20s, my boss starts calling me Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He says that I can turn into this angry monster within split seconds. Dr. Jekyll is the Mr. Nice Guy. Always a smile on his face. He doesn't like to rock the boat. He's a people pleaser. He lacks healthy boundaries and finds it difficult to say no to others. He uses his niceness to get his needs met, which are love and belonging. His behavior, however, brings up resentment as he rarely speaks his authentic truth. On the other corner, we have Mr. Hyde. He's very different. He's powerful. He's fearless. He's bold. He doesn't shy away from conflict. He gets things done. Or at least it looked that way. What was really happening was creating a wake of dead bodies behind as I bullied my way to get what I wanted. Mr. Hyde's behavior comes with shame and guilt when I realize the destruction it causes in my relationships. It's not only destructive to others, it has a profoundly destructive impact on me. I was lonely and I fell into a deep depression. I didn't want to do it this way any longer. I am sitting on the smallest meditation cushion on the wooden floor of a Switzerland meditation retreat. It is hour 12 of day 4. I find it really challenging to sit with my emotions and overactive mind. You're not good enough. You'll amount to nothing. Your future is bleak. Now, for someone who is already depressed, you may think that this would be the worst thing that one could do. But I was in it to win it. I dealt with the parts of me that wanted to run away and sat with my anger. Anger soon turn into a deep sadness. The sadness is too painful. I protect myself from feeling too much. The pain is too high. But now I understand that my anger was the bodyguard of my sadness. I noticed profound shifts after this 10-day silent meditation retreat. I feel calmer, more present. My thoughts slow down. No longer a fire squad coming at me, just like clouds floating by. And for the first time in months, I feel hope and joy. Meditation becomes a part of my daily routine and inspires me to go deeper into personal development, to become a better man. I go back to school to study psychotherapy. In my final assignment, I'm asked to interview my family of origin to find out the hidden patterns that are running my life. My parents tell me about their struggles, needing to work long hours to provide the best life for me and my brother. They tell me about the babysitters. So many babysitters, and how they were not there. Knowing from my studies that these were the crucial moments of my development, this is when I start to make sense of the world. Not having my parents and being looked after by strangers. Hearing this brings back that deep sadness I felt on that meditation cushion. It makes sense now. I can imagine my little body longing for the touch and love of my mother, crying out loud and being ignored by the babysitters. How a pattern of being moody, angry, and loud could have easily developed as early as this. The sadness that I'm feeling is the sadness of my inner child. I'm 30 years of age, sitting on the couch, looking at Linda. She's a wise therapist with years of experience. I can't believe my best friend conned me, I tell her. Dr. Jekyll let me down once again by being too nice and naive. I can feel my anger rising and sense the presence of Mr. Hyde. Linda hands me over a pool noodle to process my anger. I grab it and start bashing it into the floor again and again and again and again until I collapse into the couch. This is the first time that Mr. Hyde is not destroying anybody around him. Unlike when I stopped talking to my family for over 2 years. Yelled at my wife. Cut out friends out of my relationship. This feels good, but this is not where the work needs to end. I close my eyes as Linda guides me through a journey of my internal world to find me. Not the me that I am today, the little me. I look at little John. He's wearing his blue overalls and his white shirt. I can see his shiny green eyes and his cheeky smile. He's pure. He's innocent. He's lonely. I can sense his longing for love and connection. I kneel down and tell him, You're amazing. You're enough. I love you. As we embrace each other, tears of sadness and then of joy come down my cheeks. I connect with him regularly. As little John becomes calmer, my mood swings and anger outbursts lessen. A direct correlation, undeniable. The unprocessed trauma of my inner child was running my adult life. And what you don't know about me is that not only I'm a leadership coach, but I also support other leaders to create safe environments where their teams can thrive. And I must admit that a lot of my past actions were driven by an upset 7-year-old. Although I was calling these parts Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, it was really little John trying to survive, get love, and be accepted. Little John's story of you have to be nice to get love had me doing dealings with people I know I should not have. Keeping quiet when I should have spoken up. Hiding my mistakes to avoid rejection. Little John's story of you're not good enough had me avoiding difficult conversations so that my anger would not be found out. Leaving situations without trying to resolve them and fighting for the spotlight. And now that little John has been found and these aspects are integrated, I am no longer trapped in these stories. I take responsibility for my actions and my impact. I value teamwork and collaboration. I empower others to shine. Instead of being known as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I'm now known as a man who is inspiring, joyful, and authentic. So you may ask, what happened to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? They still come up. I'm still work in progress. And some days still get messy. But I'm committed to keep doing the work. And according to my wife, Alex, this is the reason why I still have a beautiful, powerful, and abundantly loving woman by my side. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.